Anine, hi all. Thanks for joining me today for another video in this series where we're going to be reading from Gidjie and the Wolves. Yesterday we read the chapter Possums Make the Best Friends, and today we're going to read a few things about intermediaries. So this is chapter 3. To most humans, a possum carver looks just like that, a possum. Nothing more, nothing less. To Gidjie, however, he looks like an opossum standing a little above her knee, but with movement inside of him. Or at least that's how she's explained it to him. In human form, he's barely a smidgen taller than her. She's not sure why or how she sees intermediaries in this way. Maybe it's because she's grown up around them. In any case, it's fun to watch them doing things in animal form, like now. Gidjie can't help but laugh in delight at the appearance of her grandmother, who's reached the part of the rising process suited for a bird. She soars up out of the basin a few feet higher than the rim, before turning back into human form and free fall diving while holding various positions to land on and better knead Bluebell. So that's her grandmother right there. And Nukumis means my grandmother in Anishinaabe-Moan, the Ojibwe language. Hey, that's a new shirt, Gidjie tells Carver, noticing how nicely made it is. His mother has made a few clothing items for Gidjie over the years, including her favorite red dress, which fits more like a long shirt these days. Carver's family members are mostly raccoons. They live in a giant, hollow yet still alive tree near Gidjie's house, with a nice burrow extending underground, safely tucked among the roots. They also have access to the trade tunnels by the mean of the deepest arm of their burrow. A few years ago, she had tried following him into his home, at his request, to play. To make a long story short, 3 raccoons and a passerby badger had to dislodge her from the tree by pulling her out by the ankles. She remembers the day clearly because of the incident, but also because afterwards, an assembly of sapsuckers, who no one had noticed were watching the ordeal, had flown off in a black and white and red all over ruckus after she was freed. Anyhow, she's been nervous of tight places ever since. When Carver and his mother arrive together at Gidjie's home for a visit, they greet the household in formal custom by announcing themselves with a tune on the melody stones beside the middle door, and then wait to be attended. Many of the doors in the between world have such musical devices, whether percussion, wind, or some other particular family favorite. And the between world is the upper underground that is connected by trade tunnels, as opposed to the below world, which is much, much deeper. Intermediary families along the trade tunnels maintain melodies unique to their family that are used to verify a person's identity and whereabouts. To his mother's chagrin, Carver is less formal on his daily solo visits. He likes to sneak in through gaps in earth and stone in the trade tunnels that only he knows about, emerging on the 4th floor before making his way to find Gidjie. Other times he'll scramble in from the forest floor of the above world, and the above world is the level of the earth that humans inhabit. Other times he'll scramble in from the forest floor of the above world by means of abandoned animal dens and tunnels. In any case, he's made a game of finding new ways in over the years. Carver, that you? Nukumis says from atop a giggling and ever-expanding Bluebell, who has risen high enough so Nukumis can see them over the rim of the basin. Hi, Nukumis, sorry about earlier, he blushes, being embarrassed any time he gets discovered mid-sneak. What? Nukumis says, rolling back and forth, digging her elbows into the now ginormous dough ball. It's always him, Nukumis. He says he's sorry. Gidjie raises the volume of her voice a bit. Tell him his mother's looking for him. She always is. Gidjie looks at Carver, who shrugs. His mom's recently taken to making a habit of constantly worrying about him. Apparently, unusual visitors have been stopping by at all hours of the night to try and pay him a visit. She thinks they're trying to... Well, Gidjie's not exactly sure what his mother thinks, but she's got her suspicions. She assumes it has to do with Carver getting called off to form a council, and his mother's worried something bad might come of it. Like what happened to their parents. Carver's father went missing around the same time Gidjie's mom and dad disappeared. When questioned about their parents, all Nokomis says is, good people, and that she misses them. She says even less about her estranged husband, Gidjie's adoptive grandfather, whom Gidjie doesn't remember ever meeting. Gidjie and Carver have sat together many a time, trying to recollect things about their parents. It was so long ago that neither recalls what they looked like. Gidjie sometimes dreams of her parents' voices, but that's about it. Well, thank you for joining me today for another video in this series where we're reading from my middle grade novel, Gidjie and the Wolves. Tomorrow, we'll be reading the chapter, Change. So I hope you will join me for that. With that, I will say, Gigawabamin, Minawa, Nagaj. I will see you again later. Miigwech.